You can have a shit while using a sling.
Well, you could, but I'd feel sorry for the poor baby that's just sat there whilst you're
They
straining.
don't give a fuck about smells.
Hello and welcome to Overly Honest Dads, brand new podcast that gives you an honest look at what fatherhood is really like. My name's Matt, I'm your host, and I'm joined by two absolute bastards, Magnus.
Hello, good evening.
And Gian-Maria.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, his name is actually Gian-Maria. It's not John. It's all a lie. Welcome back. Thanks for coming back and joining us again, or if this is your first ever episode, welcome to our podcast. It's been a few weeks since we last saw each other because, as you know, life with kids, it tends to get in the way sometimes. So, what have you been up to?
Looking after kids.
Yeah? Anything notable occurred in your life in the last few weeks that you want to share?
My 5-year-old daughter has a boyfriend, which is a bit weird.
That is very early.
It is. His name is and I want to rip his head off for no reason. The jealousy of a father.
Well, has he been over to your house?
No, he hasn't. There's no play dates. He sat next to her once, and she's very excited about that. So
really?
Yeah.
So how does that work? Because I remember having a girlfriend when I was 10, and I suppose that's a little bit better. But 5 years old is very early. It is. What is her expectation in this relationship? What is she getting out of it? What's in it for her?
Him sitting next to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
For protection, for what?
No, he sat next to me. She's all happy, and she shies away from telling me, but she tells her mother everything. It's very weird. It's like she knows I'm jealous.
Yeah, Jacob's got money.
Yeah, probably.
Is he
West Wickham little
Is he getting a pick and mix? Trying to impress her with a bit of swag?
I have no idea. Apparently, my wife said he's a very good-looking little boy, and I'm like, that still doesn't make it nice.
It's okay when your wife says it, but when you say it, everyone loses their minds.
Pedo John.
So you got two boys. Have they had girlfriends yet, or is I guess one of your boys is very young. He's 3, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 3, 4, but he likes one of the girls in his class
already.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He likes her. Yeah, he likes her. It's just that's he likes her. But then Chris has been. He likes this girl that keeps saying, "Oh yeah, you're my boyfriend," but she has another 2 boyfriends. I'm like, dude, I'm not sure if that's the kind of guy you will be hooking up with. I mean, he's 8, but yeah, he was madly in love with this girl, but I think he's over her now. But it's quite weird. They go to primary school, and all this stuff kind of flows in. And for me, it was the same. I think first girlfriend. I was what? 9 or something. I mean, it was just little girl from primary school, but it's just really weird that they're that young and already kind of discussing that kind of stuff.
And you're already feeling protective for Sienna.
Yeah, she's my only girl and needs to be a stand-up guy, and she needs to be 40. No, but it's just weird. It's just very weird because she's so young and they're already discussing it in a way. That was my reaction. What you had, I'm just like, what do you mean boyfriend? What the hell? It's weird.
Yeah, to be fair, for me and you, Magnus, it's way too early to even think about that kind of thing. So it's just not even on the radar yet.
Well,
what?
I'm pulling out my phone, guys. Have a look.
Who's that?
What's going on there?
Quinn has got a boyfriend.
Quinn, who is how old?
She's 5.5 months.
Bruv, did you kick him in the face?
I wasn't there. Apparently, he bit her. Yeah, he's
abusive relationship.
Yeah. How old is he? We're talking about an older man?
We are.
Okay.
We are. He's an older man. He's older by, I think, 2 months.
That is inappropriate.
Meaning he's got some teeth that have appeared. And he's got 4 teeth. And so Quinn has got 4 marks on her cheek.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's actually quite sad.
I know. And she cried.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it an ugly cry, like a really bad cry, or just a sort of moany cry?
No. It's one of those cries where if you look at them and you're upset, then they will cry. But if you look at them it's okay, it's fine.
I love how clever they are at doing that. Bang, and they'll turn around and look at you. It's I'm meant to cry. I'm going to cry. I want attention. And then if you just shut up, man up. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yes, yeah, and be a man.
Yeah, be a man. Yeah, to my boys, my girl, she can cry all day and I'll hug her all day. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I've got a fairly big day tomorrow.
Interesting.
I'm nervous. So tomorrow is Alex's first Keep in Touch day. And for anyone listening that isn't aware of what that is when someone who's on maternity leave, or I suppose paternity leave, it could happen as well if you got shared parental leave, you go back for a keep in touch day so that you're familiar with what's been going on at work while you've been away. And so Alex will be back looking after Amelie on Friday, but tomorrow is my first time looking after her on my own all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to man up?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I was thinking about this, right? Because I'm a bit nervous about it because I've not done it before, but there's nothing in Amelie's daily routine that I've not done before. I can obviously change her nappy, change her clothes, sort out her food. I can entertain her. I can get her in the pram, the pushchair. There's nothing that I can't do, but I've never had such an extended period of time without any help.
Do you know what it is? I think the reason why you are worried, maybe I'm projecting here, but the reason why you're worried is that you don't have milk jugs for tits.
Yeah.
I think that's what it
What
is.
are the boobies?
Oh, that's definitely true, because whenever Amelie is a little bit like difficult, she goes on the boob for a bit and then everything's okay again. I'm sorry, but John's taking a selfie for some reason and I really don't know why. But yeah, so I'm doing it all on my own, and I'm a little bit petrified. I don't know how it's going to go. I know it'll be a great day, though, because there will almost inevitably be moments during the day that are really special, that when me and Amelie are bonding and have a great time together. So I'm excited about it. But yeah, I mean, I'm bricking myself a bit at the same time.
Yeah.
I think the thing you'll find is she will miss mummy so much, and you can't do anything about that. Sorry to break it to you, but that is going to be a hard day tomorrow. It really will be. Because it's even now, they're older. They're all right for a few hours and it's like, with mummy, and it's just like, oh, for God's sake, she'll be back. But they're so attached to their mother because that's the person they spend the majority of their time with.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously my wife is a stay-at-home mum, and there's way more attachment there. But it's like when she went to see the Backstreet Boys a couple of weeks ago. Terrible decision, horrible band. But besides that, no, it was just sort of like, getting them to bed and stuff, and it's just like that attachment is insane. Like even the little one in particular, he's such a mummy's boy. Like the big one, not as much, but the little one, so much. It's unreal. Yeah, and they don't cry like they do when they're babies, but when they're babies, damn man, it's like impossible to break that bond.
Wow. Yeah, I've had Quinn for the majority of the day before, a couple times now. Not the whole day, not from morning to bedtime, but a long time with bottles. And thankfully, Quinn has been okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's been really good. I think she enjoys my company. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah?
I love that down little munchkin.
What sort of things do you get up to? What activities?
We play games. We play a lot of games. She's got, like you've got, the floor tiles.
Yeah.
The foam floor tiles in rows of 4. Yeah. 16 and in the front room, and she'll have her toys there. I will be with her, usually with my phone as well, but I'll be with her to keep her company when she looks over. We'll read a lot of books. I read all of her books to her in Czech because I'm trying to learn it as well. She loves books. She absolutely loves books. Out of everything to maintain her concentration, it's books. Who'd have thought?
Pretty neat, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
So, we'll watch YouTube videos every now and again, and she just won't want to continue on with the YouTube videos after about 5-10 minutes. The books
good, man.
maintained, which is fantastic.
That's really good.
So sometimes I'll chuck her into a sling. We'll walk around the house. We'll go into the back garden. We may go out, go in the buggy somewhere, get her out of the house. She loves all of it. Honestly, guys, I think we've landed on our feet as parents. Because Quinn is really easygoing. Easygoing.
I love when the second comes and it's potentially a demon, like the
This
opposite.
is what everyone says.
Yeah, oh
This is
mate,
what
if that
everyone
happens, I
says.
will feel for you.
So all of the friends that we have that have had a second kid, and the first kid that's been easygoing, the second kid has been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I've heard similar. Or the other way around. The first one's been a nightmare and the second one's really docile.
That was me.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris was an absolute nightmare, and then Sienna was like, "La," like complete opposite. So yeah.
So it's been really hot here recently. Have you guys? I guess it's probably more a Magnus question than John, because your kids will probably be able to deal with hot weather easier than a baby.
They just expect a barbecue and a paddling pool to come out. Like literally, that's what happens.
That does sound like a lot of work. But yeah, how have you dealt with the heat with your kid?
Well, actually pretty good.
Yeah?
If anything. Yeah. Quinn has been fine. She's not had any issues with it. No heat rashes, no complaining, no waking up in the middle of the night. It's been pretty good.
That's good. Well, we actually had a bit of a struggle with that when it was really hot. Well, Emily got a fever a couple of Sundays ago.
Yeah.
It was the first time she was ill, and thankfully the fever went away really quickly.
How old is she now?
She is 8 months.
8 months. 8 months without having a fever.
Yeah.
You're
There we
lucky,
are.
man.
See?
Damn.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's the McGinley genes. We're tough people. But Magnus, what were you up to whilst we were away?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to say to that. Quinn went on her first family holiday.
Her first holiday?
Her first
Wow.
What a
holiday.
coincidence.
What a segue.
Really?
Because this week we're talking about travelling / holidays with kids.
There we are.
Wow.
There we are.
Who would have thought?
Segue, man.
So yeah, everyone, we're going to today's main subject because we're not just going to talk sort of random shit for the whole episode. We're going to talk about the experience of sort of generally traveling. So maybe just going A to B on public transport, but also going away on holiday and what that's like for kids because it's very different from life beforehand, much like everything is. So we're going to take a quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to chat all about traveling and holidays. See you in a moment. Bye bye. Welcome back to Overly Honest Dads. So we're here and we're here to talk about traveling and going on holiday when you have kids. So I've wanted to pick this as a subject because a lot changes when you become a parent, but traveling is one of the main ones because before you could just leave the house, just check you've got your keys, your wallet, your phone, and just be on your way. And you don't even have to have a plan of where you're going or what you're doing. But when you have a kid, everything changes. So first off to talk about is getting prepared to go out. So Magnus, when you are about to go out on a trip with Romana and with Quinn, what essentials do you pack?
Well, there is one thing that I do before the packing, which is absolutely essential, and it's a sniff. I need to ensure she hasn't shit her pants. So providing that is okay.
What is the vintage?
Awful. Providing that
story.
everything is okay and it's not a wet nappy either. She's clean. We have her bag. Everyone has their baby bag. Every single person has a baby bag, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got ours from Amazon. We've got two, in fact, now. The specific baby bags. You know, the ones with the foil inner pockets so you can put, bottles and
Nappies
shit.
and bottles.
Yeah,
and
keep
crack.
Water, coal and all that kind of stuff. Crack. So she's had all of her stuff there. We get her ready, and then we decide whether or not we take the big buggy or the small buggy. Okay. Yeah, you got the same thing, the travel buggy or not.
Yeah. Recently, because we went away for the first time, we got the travel buggy for that.
Travel buggy's an essential, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
Well,
Full on.
we didn't have it for ages, but now we do. It's just very useful to have.
Well, we bought it so we can get on planes and put it into the overhead.
Yeah.
But now we use it regularly out and about the town because it weighs 6 kilograms.
Oh man, it's so light. And
It is.
it's so cheap. Like it breaks, you just buy a new one. And it's just like that's the other thing.
Well, ours wasn't so cheap. It was about 170.
What?
Yeah. So it was,
matter with you?
it was an Ickle Bubba. Because it was 160, 170, yeah. An Ickle Bubba. I know, some wanky name. Really fucking annoying name, I know.
You've changed, Magnus.
No, I know, I have.
What has happened to you?
I've become domesticated.
You
It's a-
hipster.
Yeah.
I've got a wickle.
I mean,
bubba
are
pushchair.
you competing with all the other parents?
No.
Because isn't that kind of like a keeping up with the Joneses thing to
Fuck
spend that
that
much on
shit.
stuff?
It just
You
needs a leather
middle-class
handle.
wannabe motherfucker.
Well, I do live near Wimbledon, so
Oh,
there
right.
we go. Yeah. We at that stage we've decided whether or not we take the big buggy or the travel buggy, and then we get Quinn prepared. Basically, we throw her from a distance into the child seat, load her into the car if we're going to drive somewhere. If not, we throw her from a distance into the buggy, which is down a flight of stairs, and then we're all good to go.
Yeah.
But when we're carrying stuff, it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot
of stuff.
It really is a hell of a lot.
stuff.
So we're talking, if we want to go around the block, you have to take into account the fact that a baby may shit themselves, right? Or puke.
Yeah.
So in her bag is definitely changes of clothing, lots of different changes of clothing.
Minimum of 2.
Minimum of 2, yeah.
Yeah, that's the law.
Absolutely. Shitload of nappies, nappy sacks, wet wipes, some dummies if necessary.
You're missing one thing. You warm the milk before you leave the house. You keep it in a little milk warmer holder. So that you take it out and the milk is still warm. Yeah. Take it out and the milk is still warm and it's in that kind of container that keeps the temperature.
Well,
you gotta get on that, man.
If it's still in the tit, then it stays fairly warm.
Yeah, but we like...
There are instances where it could get cold,
stuff,
but...
Yeah.
Yeah, winter, like, ding!
When we're out about, Alex will just feed herself.
Yeah.
Like, she'll do it in the middle of a shopping centre.
Yeah.
She'll just sit down on a bench and whip it out, and there you go.
Well, we had to turn to formula pretty quickly due to things. So but the bottle warmer thing was like epic. It was amazing. Just kept the right temperature. And it's just like, need to feed. Bzz, take it out, and it was still warm.
But such a convenience to just whack out your tit for lunch.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah,
really, it's life saving. You know, it's brilliant. It helps us all out. You know. If you're hungry.
So, John, how does the preparation change when the kids get older? Because I imagine you still need to prepare when you're due to go places with your many children.
You know what the first thing you say? Have you gone toilet? Have you gone toilet? No, I don't need to go toilet. I don't want to go toilet. Okay. And they go toilet.
Do you say that in English in that accent, or do you actually talk in Italian to them?
English. They won't respond to Italian. They're so racist.
Oh,
They
really?
just don't like Italian. It's ridiculous.
I just kind of wanted to know what "go to the toilet" is in Italian.
Cesso. No, you wouldn't say cesso to a kid. You'd just say "sei andato in bagno," but they won't even respond to that. They're so racist. Like they understand it. They refuse to speak it. It kind of hurts my feelings.
It's interesting you say that, and we will discuss this we'll dedicate an episode to this. Second language acquisition, because all of our partners are from another country. John, you're a filthy foreigner. So we all have this issue being in an English country. But the kids, from what I've heard, even if they're native speakers at a young age, they will refuse unless they're forced to. Yeah. They will refuse.
When they're in Italy, they start getting into it, and then they come back from holiday. Done. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's quite annoying. But when you get ready, I mean, they're pretty good at getting ready now. Liam is almost there on dressing himself, which is quite cool. So we're getting to a point where we're quite independent. I think the nightmare is everyone getting in a car and then who's put seatbelt on, who hasn't. Sienna doesn't want to do it. Liam doesn't know how to do it. So there's just the argument of you put your seatbelt on. Normally all done. It only happened once last week. We're going downhill and I had to brake a little bit. And then they started laughing at the back what's going on. And I turned around and they were laughing because Liam's chair moved because they didn't put the seatbelt on. And he whacked into his mother's back seat, into his mother's seat. And it was just like, why do you put the seatbelt on? Oh, it's funny. I'm like, it's not. It really isn't. Wow. It's just, that's the first time it's ever happened. It was like 2 weeks ago. I could have just slapped them. Like, it was ridiculous. No, but they're pretty good, man. They're pretty good. They're like, once you get to that age, they're pretty good at sort of getting ready and stuff.
Can I ask, we're going on a slight tangent, but did you guys do anything really dangerous when you were kids? Like, I mean, really, really single digit young?
Yeah, I mean, but we didn't have car seats when I was a kid, man. Like, come on, like the little bumper seats that my kids have. I'm like, I was in a Panda in Italy, like 100 miles an hour, the car shaking because it can't handle the speed.
We did have car seats back then. I had a car seat. I think
in
that's
Italy, nobody gave a shit.
Yeah, I think that's more specific to your upbringing than the general experience.
My parents didn't want me, by the way. Heavy but true, brother. Oh, man.
Well, no, I mean, what are you doing by dangerous? I wasn't like trying to make bombs or anything. I mean, what are you trying to...
Play with fire, definitely.
Yeah, you play with fire, eat bugs.
You know bay windows?
Yeah.
Bay windows, right? The crescent-shaped windows that British houses have, right? I used to climb out of the left-hand side and walk, we're talking from the first floor, and walk all the way around with the middle window open so I could hold on to it and come back in through the right side.
Jesus,
with
man.
Wearing my underwear.
Is that an important detail? You're just in your pants.
I'm just remembering it right now. Yeah, it's not like I was trying to defenestrate myself, but I was not walking. I'm just climbing like that Frenchman from one side to the other. And now I think about it, it fucking horrifies me.
Oh man, that's bad.
It's just retarded.
Like, I don't open the back car windows all the way because I'm scared they'll jump out of the bloody windows of the car. Do you know what I mean? That's insane.
Yeah, I was a fucking idiot, but there we are.
But you're still here.
Did stupid things when we went away on scouts trips and stuff like that, but that's because you're with other kids and you sort of OG yourself up. I wasn't like trying to scale buildings in my pants or... I mean, I think that might just have been you, Magnus.
I remember, I think it was year 6. I got an aluminium tube from probably like a broom or something like that, and I drilled holes into it. I made a handle, a chest, not a chest rest, a shoulder rest, and I put like the old suspension, front suspension on bicycles.
Yeah.
They had like the black things, the black covers that would move up and down. No, no,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, the really old ones, and I put that on the front, and it was a rocket launcher, and I put fireworks in it, and I got on top of my garage, and I would shoot that off the garage onto the back houses. Did you guys not do anything like that? I thought it was a normal thing to do.
No, I used to set stuff quite a bit on fire. I used to like a ton. Like I was quite pyromaniac when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I burnt serious things down. Like I burned the shed down, and like I was a bit rough.
Did you have the fire engine called on you?
Well, someone else's house, I couldn't give it that.
Oh, really?
Off.
Yeah.
If the fire engine got called, I wasn't there.
I remember I burnt down the back fence.
Oh, the other thing is, there was our neighbours were quite annoying, and I went underneath their balcony and took a shit under their balcony, and I kept doing it for weeks on end, and they thought there must be a wolf coming round, because nobody had dogs or anything, so there must be a wolf coming round, there's massive poos underneath.
How old were you?
I was about 9, 10. I was like, they used to piss me off, and I used to take massive poos underneath the balcony. That's
biological warfare, John.
That really is. And then I got caught, and they were like, oh, it wasn't a wolf. Just me pinching one out.
Well, I was going to talk about, the benefits of using slings to carry your baby in, but this seems like a bit of a strange...
Sorry, we went off on a tangent there.
No, it's fine.
You can have a shit while using a sling.
Well, you could, but I'd feel sorry for the poor baby that's just sat there whilst you're straining.
Don't give a fuck about smells.
You pinching one out?
I can fart like it's tooting Broadway, and she doesn't care.
Like it's tooting. Oh, I see what you do.
Yeah, loud ones. Yeah. Tooting Becks are the silent but violent ones.
But yeah, slings, they're all right, aren't they?
They're pretty good.
They're all right, Matt. Yeah.
But they don't give you as much mobility as you think they would.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
You can't really do a lot of shit with them. You can't go gardening.
No.
Yeah, all right, calm down.
Fixing the car.
Yeah.
I don't know. My next door neighbour probably would.
Yeah,
but they are handy. I mean, Alex definitely sees the benefit in them. They give her a bit of freedom when going on the tube and stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
I used to basically, couldn't drive, and we used to get buses and stuff to get around. Man, I hated it so much.
I can't even imagine.
And then if there was a buggy on the bus, you couldn't get your buggy on the bus, so you had to wait for the next bus. And then I hated it so much, man. And then we got the car, and it was fine. But damn,
I really appreciate public transport in this country. It's fantastic compared to other countries. I'm talking buses.
If you've got kids,
if you've got kids. And you can't afford to have a car or any other transport, you've got no one else to help you out, you're fucked.
And you don't go out
You're
on
not
a Saturday.
that fucked. You're sitting here knowing that I don't drive and we don't have a car.
But you got a tube station.
Shit.
Dude, you got a tube station.
Yeah.
It's different. We didn't have a tube station.
Matt doesn't have any support.
No, it's fine. The reason I don't drive is because when I was younger, I had epilepsy, and so I wouldn't have been able to learn until my early 20s anyway. And by that point, I was living in London, and so there was not much point.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff about one not being a man. Well, fuck you.
I was telling myself that I love you,
and two, it is perfectly possible to get things done. You just need to choose where you live well, so that you've got stuff to do. And the tube makes it dead easy to get around. And I was going to ask what you guys' experience of the tube was like. I know for anyone listening that's not from London, hearing about the tube might be not that interesting, but stick with us. But yeah, how do you guys find the tube, Magnus?
Tube is neat.
Tube is good. Tube is 5 minutes away from our place, and the tube workers are very helpful.
Yeah.
If Romy's got the heavy buggy, they're okay with carrying it.
Again, 8 years ago was the same thing. I mean, we had Chris, and literally lifts does everything. I mean, tube is great. Yeah. It's the buses that are a nightmare. But but again, we chose to live near where I was because I had my flat there, and I love Catford. But Catford.
Oh, that place.
Oh man,
I
love Catford.
We drove past there the other day.
Yeah. I love Catford, but not for everyone, man. Not for everyone, especially if you don't have a tube near you. And and my wife, grew up in Italy, but then moved when she moved to England. She was living in Camden, so really well connected. And then, we ended up living in Catford. It was fine when we didn't have kids. And once you have kids and you got to get on buses, that's a nightmare. And Saturdays, you don't leave the house. Because on Saturdays, you can't get a buggy on a bus if you try. It's just, I hated it so much. And then we got the car and it was fine. And then I got my first car seat, proper dad. I got a Ferrari, proper Italian dad. Got a Ferrari one and I had a Polo. I looked like such a dick. It was amazing. And I remember you guys mocking me for that at some point. So,
well, you're a very mockable individual.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I love you, buddy.
I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, your name's Jean Maria. It's just inviting.
Yeah, I know. It's inviting abuse. And,
yeah. Now, but one downside of the tube and public transport that I've noticed is, especially when you've got a young baby that's quite cute, is randoms that decide that they want to interact or even touch your baby. Like, we've had situations where a woman has reached into the pram and Alex has just had to go wild and like shout at them to tell them not to touch the baby. It can get a bit weird. The people clearly mean well because they are, they're wanting to be affectionate to the child, but don't touch my kid.
Yeah. And London's dirty and that, so you don't know what people like. You don't know who people are. It's so many people. No. I would shout at them as well.
Yeah.
Talking about buggies, I saw something very interesting yesterday morning. I saw a guy running to work, pushing the buggy ahead of him, running after it, and then pushing it again. The wildest thing I've ever seen. Upper Thames Street.
Three-wheeler?
Three-wheeler, he's cool. I'm like, dude, you're very close. You're very close to the road. You're gonna kill you push it wrong. It's gonna go in the road.
I've seen people run with the pram or with
he
the
was
pushchair,
pushing it and
but
running.
I've not heard of literally pushing it and then catching up with it. I sometimes do that with Alex, with Emily in the pram with Alex, just to wind Alex up. I'd be like, oh, no hands, or when it's safe to do.
And you're walking,
yeah,
not running. And he was running at quite a pace as well. I'm like, you insane. It was Upper Thames Street. It's a main street in central London. It's insane, man.
Dads do fucking stupid shit.
Really
you hear about the guy on the cruise liner? There's a recent article on a guy, a grandfather even, was holding his grandkid on a massive cruise liner. We're talking like a good 100-foot, if not more, 60-foot drop, right? Next to the window, massive, the window's fucking huge, yeah? And he's walking with the kid, yeah, right next to the goddamn window, and he loses his balance, yeah, and the worst happened. Dads do fucking stupid.
What, the baby fell out?
Died.
Yeah. What? I thought you were going to tell a story of like the where risking was involved, but all ended well.
No.
So
oh shit! I'm sorry.
Fell off a boat, was it? Did you say?
Did it die?
Not into the water. It was parked up.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was docked.
Oh man!
Oh shit!
Shit! Sorry, guys.
Oh, dark, man. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
You got a big smile on your face. It's so funny, man. Damn.
I'm sorry.
You like the reaction, but trust me, that's dark, man. You really hit me in a place I wasn't ready to go, man.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember sharing it from Romy. We were just there, like, oh my god, this hurts us now. This really, really hurts us. Like that. I've seen dads do really, really stupid shit. With kids, they throw them too high. They run with them. They will hold them in weird positions.
Oh no!
Because it's just like it's dads to be a little bit rough, and sometimes that's a good thing.
Drop him on their head, or like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I've already hurt my kid.
Yeah, but
we spoke about
it, so it wasn't that bad. But
yeah.
I mean, when you voluntarily try and act like an idiot just to show off, I hate that. Like when I see dads throwing kids about, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Or grabbing, like I saw a dad in the park grabbing a kid by the arm and the leg and then spinning him around. I'm like, what the hell, dude? What the hell are you doing?
How old was the kid?
The kid was like 5, 6. I mean, you can't like. I can't get my head around. Like the guy again that was running, pushing a pushchair. I wanted to punch him in the face.
Jesus.
And take the kid away. You don't deserve to have a kid when you do stuff like that.
There's a certain age they get to where a dislocation stops being a risk, but I think up until 5. It's still an issue. Like we can't hold our babies upside down because you can, but you can't like do anything with them because they have the risk of dislocating their pelvis.
Yeah.
Which is just a really, really bad thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was a rough story you told, man. Damn, that really put me in a place.
Shit.
Damn.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all good, but that might be a good time to take a break.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we're going to discuss going on planes with kids, and we're going to talk about going on holiday. Yay, positivity. We're a positive podcast about good things and not dead babies. See you in a bit, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome back to Overly Honest Dads. We're in the final part of the podcast, which is probably a good thing because John can't keep a straight face whenever I do an introduction. So we, as you know, if you've been listening, we've been talking about traveling and all of that sort of stuff. And we mentioned towards the start of the episode that Magnus, you recently went on your first holiday with Quinn and with your partner since Quinn came along. So why don't you tell us about the experience? And I really want to hear about your experience of going on a plane as well, because going on a plane is a whole different thing to traveling in other means of transport.
Yes. So just to add a small caveat here, our experience was probably not representative of what it can be like to travel because it was a bit too perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So Romy was really adamant that Quinn needs to be a well-traveled baby. So I think the first plane journey she took her on was when she was 4 months. And Quinn has been around with us. She's been to Wales. She's been on long car journeys with us previously. So we went to Corfu, which is a Greek island. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. Brilliant, clear blue skies, sun without fail every single day. We had a fantastic view from the hotel as well. And Quinn was on the plane for, I think, 3 and a bit hours. A lot of preparation, very stressful as new parents, a lot of shit that we're bringing on board. So our equipment that we brought, not including the 2 or 3 luggages, was her travel cot and her buggy, which was a travel buggy. Yeah.
Your £170 travel buggy.
Yeah, exactly, which is just fantastic. So that was supposed to go in as cabin luggage, but Romana substituted that for her own bag. So, you know, it is what it is. But guys,
the important things, you know.
Exactly. I've got to admit to you, however, guys, I'm really fucking proud of my kid.
Proud dad moment.
Absolutely. She got on that plane and did not care. She was so happy. She was making friends left, right, and centre. All of the people around us were like, that is the smiliest baby ever. She's so alert. She's so happy. And then when they would talk to her, she would squeak because she would be so happy that another human would be interacting with her. And that was 3 hours. She fell asleep a couple of times. Yeah, she had not a couple of times. I think she fell asleep once. She had a nap on the plane there. Romy fed her from her Babylons as they can, which is fantastic convenience. And it was just brilliant. Like, I remember when we were getting out of the seats, people were offering to hold her. Yeah.
Don't touch my baby.
Quinn wanted to be held. She wanted someone to interact with other people. It was just brilliant. And then when we were on holiday, she was the only one from the whole party. Just to clarify who the party was, it was me, Romana's friend, who's a wife to her husband, and 2 kids. Kids are 14 months and 4 years. Yeah. Like the whole time, it was just brilliant. It really, really was. Even in the hotel room was hitting really high temperatures. Outside, it was fucking hot. Yeah. We all tanned.
How are we talking?
Like mid-30s. Late 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really bloody hot. Yeah. Even I got a proper tan. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, I can, actually, yeah.
And
yeah.
I've already got a tan.
I've never noticed you with the tan before.
Yeah.
And I've known you a long time now.
Yeah. So, I've got a proper tan all around. I look ridiculous. Mosquitoes. She was the only one to not get bitten by a mosquito because obviously Quinn is so pure and fantastic.
I'd have thought that pure blood for mosquitoes would be like the equivalent of a Wagyu steak or something, you know? Get some of that baby blood. Nutritious.
Yeah, they didn't go for her. And she went in the sea.
It's awesome.
Yeah, she loved it. She was pushing. She had an inflatable platform around her, and she would be at the shoreline and push herself into the sea. The shoreline was the water was very, very shallow for like maybe 50 meters. So it was like waist high up until around then, and she would push herself on the sand. She didn't care the way the sand felt. She would just go out, enjoy, come. Well, she didn't really quit. She didn't know where she was going, but she would just enjoy herself. She was squeaking away. I've got videos of her laughing. Yeah. Like
You
my
look so
kid,
proud,
man.
man.
Yeah, I really am. I
We
really
should have
am.
a skit for the podcast called Proud Dad Moment for the week.
Yeah.
Because this is it.
Yeah, but I know exactly what Magnus means, because when Magnus talking about his experience of being on the plane with Quinn, Amelie was the same recently. So she had a first plane journey when we went to Germany. We were going to a wedding in Bavaria because my wife is German, and that's where her friends are. So we went out there, and a similar sort of thing. Amelie was just smiling at everyone, charming people, getting. Did you get a cuddly toy thing on the plane as well?
No.
We flew Lufthansa, which is obviously the German, the predecessor to the Luftwaffe. But they've had a bit of an image change, and
They haven't bombed London.
not for a long time, it seems.
They
Now-
fly into London, but they don't bomb us.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. They've got the opportunity, but they don't take it, and that's the important thing. But you've got this.
First, they get the itch every now and again.
Yeah. So we get this nice cuddly plane toy. I think there might be one in there right now. I'm not going to turn around because I'll knock the microphone. And a logbook as well. We've got a logbook for the flights in the future. So now Amelie, we can keep track of all the flights she goes on, and then when she's older, she can be like, "Oh, we got a flight." But yeah, you do get so proud, and with your kids. And maybe this is a subject for another podcast. But when you're a dad or a mum, you the smallest thing your child does, you're just like, genius. She is an absolute genius.
Yeah,
there's no way
agreed.
this baby isn't going to turn out to rule the world. And yeah, but sometimes because life is quite hard, when they do the basics well, you just feel really good. And get that plane journey for us was one of those.
Yeah, agreed.
So, since we did the proud dad moment thing and babies being geniuses, now you think your first is a genius, and I thought all of them were great, and then the last one came along, and he is a little genius. He's
Really?
4, and he picked up a pen and started writing the alphabet the other day. He does times tables, and he's 4, and I'm just like, nobody's teaching him that. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, that's my little proud
Really?
dad moment. Yeah, he's
Wow.
pretty clever
Well,
for a
I have
4-year-old.
a theory about this, and I got this theory from my own family. So it was me and my brother, and then my sister was born 11 years after, or I think 9 years after my brother. I'm older than my brother, and then 9 years after my brother came.
So you're
Jessica.
the dumbest and she's the
Well,
smartest.
I kind of think that the kids that come later have a benefit because
Yeah.
the parents are more experienced at being parents. Like, we are going through it for the first time with our kids, Magnus. Now, John, you had 2 throws of the dice before Liam came along. So do you think that makes it? I know this is going way off top topic, but do you think it makes a difference to the kids' development?
I think what makes a difference is he sits there when we do homework with the others and he listens.
Yeah.
And then on YouTube, on the iPad, the only thing he wants to watch is the maths things, the maths videos, which is really weird, and the letter blocks, and it's just quite random, but he loves them. And then he learns to write and count, and he turned around to me the other day and goes, "Daddy, you know that 5 + 5 + 4 + 1 is 15?" And I'm like, 1, 2, 3. He's right. It just kind of blew my.
Yeah.
I'm like, where'd you get that from? And he's just picking these things up. But I reckon it's, yes, you're better because you're more prepared as a parent, but I also do think the influence from the other kids he learns from basically the older kids in the family. I think that's what it is.
I think that's quite powerful, actually. That's
Yeah.
a very unique environment. I can see how that would actually benefit him
big
without
time.
you having to do
Yeah.
anything really.
Definitely.
Yeah, I remember when I was little, me and my brother would talk to my sister just as if she was the same age as us, and my mum would always tell us off because we used long words, and we didn't like
swear
talk down
words.
to her. We never talked down to her. We just talked to her as if she was like us, and yeah, it really annoyed my mum. But then, like, my sister is now is working at KPMG. She's earning far more than me or my brother did. Actually, no, I was earning more when I was that age, but that's but that was because of recruitment.
The McGinley ego.
Well, no, that was just recruitment, You'd make a lot of money doing it. But she's doing an actual sustainable career, not like recruitment where you've got to stay doing the same shit for the rest of your life and you hate yourself and you want to die.
We love our jobs.
Jessica is actually like working at KPMG, getting proper training and everything else. And I do kind of think, having me and my brother around, treating her like she was just like anyone else, probably helped quite a bit in terms of doing that. But anyway, we're getting way off topic.
Yeah.
So holidays. So
Travel,
John,
yeah.
So you've obviously been on lots of holidays. You tend to take one long holiday into Italy a year, don't you?
I'm Italian, of course, man.
Yeah.
August is sacrosanto. You must take the holiday in
So
August.
tell us about your experience of taking your kids back to the motherland.
So before I go into that, we actually did the first holiday we did with Chris. We actually went to a resort
Ooh.
in the Canaries, in La Palma, I think it was, which I loved. My wife was like, "It's boring." I loved it because you're away from everything. You have to see family. The problem is when you have kids and you are from another country or your other half is from another country, you have to go and see family, whether you like it or not. First trip was staying at family's house. Do not recommend that. Even as much as they want you to stay there or not, don't do it. We now rent a house every year when we go.
Okay.
And
Is this
things are much
to
easier.
Sardinia? Or?
to Sardinia, yeah, is where she's from, which is nice and sunny and it's great. It's an island. There's loads of beaches, but we rent a house with a swimming pool. So to be honest, no need to go to the beach. You just sit at the swimming pool all day and yeah, it's pretty awesome. The trips of getting on the plane and all the rest of it are actually not as traumatic as you think. The only thing is parking the car at the airport. The one thing I will say, the biggest benefit for me is the top end parking service you can get that sorted. When we fly, because we fly from Stansted and not from any other airport to Sardinia, I get the parking where I drive up in front of the terminal, someone takes my car and goes and park it for me. That is potentially the biggest benefit of when I travel. Fast track, pointless, because you get treated like a god when you have a kid anyway. They let you through in front of everybody anyway.
It's true.
So fast track is a waste of money. But when it comes to parking your car or anything, that for me is essential. Like I want someone to take my car away. And it's only like 20 quid extra from what you'd pay normally.
But you've got a respectable car.
I don't. I had a Dacia up to the other day, mate. I've got Jeep now, but I had a Dacia up to the other day. You got to think about that, man. Like Dacia, I used to get insulted for having a Dacia.
I don't even know what a
mates.
Dacia is.
Neither do I for a while. So I was driving, I didn't know what the fuck it was.
It's a Romanian manufacturer. They make very good cars.
Do they?
Very, very
Okay,
good. Yeah,
fair
you had the Duster.
Is it Dacia or something like that?
Dacia.
Dacia.
Oh, Dacia.
Dacia.
Okay,
Dacia.
there you go.
Yeah, it's a really good car. I've got a Peugeot 307. It's a pizza delivery driver's car.
Not anymore, man. If you deliver, you're driving a ped, mate. Like, you're talking like early 2000s. Now it's just peds. No, but the reality is, it doesn't matter what car it is. Like someone just takes your car and parks it for you, and you're in front of the terminal. You don't have to go get escalators, and then you can't get the escalator because you're going to buggy. Or you have to go around, go line up for the elevator. The elevator's not coming. None of that. You're right in front of the terminal, and you walk through. That
So
is a pretty sweet deal.
We previously used to drive the car up and then catch the bus in. We
That's
never used to do the valet option or whatever it is.
Valet option, 20 quid extra,
Yeah.
worth every penny.
Because I didn't like the idea of that. I always kept my keys and
Loved it.
we flew around with the keys and then came back and caught the bus to
When
the
you
car.
come out of the terminal, it's like, here's my ticket, and they're like, here's your car. They give you your key. You get in your car, you drive off, like dead easy.
See,
We caught a taxi.
At that point, I was about to say that airport taxis, they're usually now about 40 quid each way.
It depends. So for Gatwick, we
Exactly.
caught Gatwick is on a really good day. It's 35 minutes.
Yeah,
in a car.
You're quite close where you are.
Yeah, it's just straight there. 35 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was 73 quid
Yeah.
with the child seat.
Whoa.
It's nearly 120 to get to Stansted. It's insane.
See,
where I come
no,
from.
I need to give you some links because I can do it for generally 40 quid each way.
Yeah, but your taxi drivers will rape you.
To be fair, I'm not ever comfortable being in cars with them, but I mean, they get you from A to B.
Well, so that was using Gatwick taxis. That was the on-site, the
Right,
official.
I see, yeah.
But to get there, I think it was a lot less than that. It was like 50 or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But still, for me, 120 quid
Yeah.
for parking is my car. I'm controlling the situation. I feel more
This
comfortable.
is the thing. So I went to book that, and the price was going to be, I think, 90 something. It depends when you go.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, 90.
No, I'm going to do that next time.
Yeah, because you park
It's a good
right
tip,
in
everyone.
front. You park right in front. You don't have to worry. And then when you come back, you don't have to worry. You just give them your ticket, and it's like, oh yeah, here's your keys. There's your car over there. You drive off, and it's literally in front of you. Pack your bags, and off you go. And you can just dump the trolley there, where you're carrying all the luggage. It's
Most
dead easy.
convenient.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So
So, John, when you go to Sardinia for these, how long are you going for? Is it like a month at a time?
Leaving on a no, I wish. Well, she goes for a month. So, guys, so for dads, right, get on this ASAP. Wife, we leave on the 23rd of July. I come back on the 6th of August. They stay an extra week. The extra week is gold. Get on that as soon as you can. It's like, no, darling, you relax a little more. Have a little longer holiday. You come back. You're in your pants. The house is tidy. You're having a beer. You're playing PlayStation. Nobody bothers you. Life is beautiful. I'll be honest. It's
even
pretty
if
neat.
it costs you some extra,
Even if it costs you a
money,
little extra money, it's an extra holiday for everybody. Trust me.
Absolutely.
She gets to spend time with her family. She goes and sees her sister this year in Tuscany. So
Yeah.
she's in Tuscany for a week.
Beautiful.
With the kids. The kids are in a swimming pool in Tuscany. They get to see another bit of Italy. And I'm in London and I get to kind of listen to my own thoughts for the first time and be able to put classical music in the house and not sound like an idiot because you're like, kids, shut up, I can't hear it. It's just nice and quiet and tidy and clean and I can do stuff in the house. Oh man, that for me, that week is a neat week. And I love my kids, don't get me wrong, but that week off makes you appreciate them more because day 3 you're like, I miss my kids. And then when they come back, you're so happy they're back, if that makes sense. So I think there's just a whole benefit to that extra week. And I learned that last year hard.
I'm glad you said that 3-day thing because you said that when I think we were recording maybe our first episode and I was saying about how Alex was still in Germany with the kids and you said, after 3 days you start to miss them. And
So
I was
the
thinking,
first 3 days
are you
you're
going to
like,
completely contradict yourself here? And
No. I mean, the first 3
and
days.
show yourself to be a fraud.
No, I'm not a fraud.
Which we know you're a fraud, but you know,
I love you,
we
but
try not to point it out to our lovely listeners. They don't know you. They don't need to know the
No,
truth.
they don't need to know the truth.
So we're getting towards the end of the episode. So do we have any tips that we want to give any existing dads or dads to be out there for just anything around traveling and going on holiday? Anything that you've learned you think other people would benefit from knowing?
Don't spend money on fast track. Waste the money. If you pay for fast track at the airport to get in front of the queues, pointless. When you got babies, they put you at the front anyway.
Yeah, that's true. When you're waiting at the gate, you mean to go
Yeah.
onto the plane.
Even the security bit, they kind of like swoop you at the front type of thing when you got kids. They're quite nice like that. So there's no need to pay extra.
Yeah.
Chaps, get yourself and invest in a compact travel buggy. It will pay dividends. You will
Don't
appreciate
spend
it.
£170. Do not listen to this man. You can get them for 40 quid from Argos and there's just as small and just as light. Do not spend 170
Do
quid.
not listen to this man.
Do your research. You'll see what I mean. Ickle Bubba or whoever, anything that folds down to a cabin luggage size is really, really fucking helpful when you're climbing steps.
Cool Bubba sounds like Winnie the Pooh's best
I
friend.
know, it's the shittest name ever, right? It's fucking awful.
How do you spell it?
It's not as bad as Bugaboo. I hate Bugaboo.
Oh, God, yeah. Bugaboo and Ickle Bubba and fucking weird names like that, yeah. I
Kiko,
know.
when you're Italiano.
Kiko. There's McLaren. McLaren's a good one.
Is
That always
it
made
the
me chuckle.
McLaren?
No,
No,
not.
it's
No,
like
no.
a very not fast.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think those are some good tips. So thank you.
What's your tip, Matt, though?
You don't need to see that.
Penis tip.
No, God, I don't want to see it. But what is your tip for that?
To be honest, I'm not sure that I have one. I think I've probably travelled the least out of everyone here since Emily's come along. And you know, I think what we said here is pretty much.
I always feel like Matt is a very good host, but never tells any stories. I think we need to get more out of Matt.
He has
today.
a lot of stories.
He has a lot of stories, but he doesn't talk much. He's a very secretive man.
I'm not that secretive, but with you wonderful people here, why do I need to tell stories? I'm just trying to guide you along some kind of normal path and save you from yourselves to some extent. I think if I've got you to a point where you've said something that's reasonable that people can listen to, then my job is done. My work here is done. Because half the things you say are completely unbroadcastable. The accents you do are frankly racist.
I get the chopper, the baby, I do your maid.
And I'm ashamed to even know you. So I think this is where we're going to wrap up for today's episode. If you have any comments or any feedback or questions, then you can email us at our email address, which is overlyhonestdads@gmail.com. Once again, that's overlyhonestdads@gmail.com. We haven't started putting out any of these episodes yet, so you know, the inbox is dry, but when we do start releasing them, get in touch. We also have a Twitter account. Guess what? That's at Overly Honest Dads. We haven't done a single tweet yet, but we will probably at some point. We'll be back next week with another wonderful episode. John has something to say.
Yeah, can you please send us abusive emails of some sort? I'd like to hear Matt's response. He's very good at responding to abusive emails. Somebody send us, please. Any insulting comments would be amazing, please.
Yeah, I forgot to say that any and all feedback is welcome, especially abusive feedback, because, you know, I mean, that's just fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, it really is.
And, you know, we are overly honest, and so we want you to be overly honest in your feedback. So all that remains is for me to thank Magnus.
My pleasure.
And thank Jean-Maria.
No, I'm not going to respond to that.
And to thank you, wonderful people, for listening. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. We'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.